Hi team, my name is Danielle McAllister and I'm a special education teacher at Bemidji Middle School. I'm going to be speaking to you about our intervention plan for Jerome Washington. He is a 6th grade student with ASD and EBD, and social and emotional behaviors typical of autism, and we have a plan for him for interventions that will work to replace his undesired behaviors or eliminate them with positive behaviors. The way that we determined what these behaviors were by doing assessments. The assessments that we did for this evaluation were the UCC Classic, which is the Underlying Characteristics Checklist Classic for Autism. We also did a ISSI, a ABC Iceberg, and a Ziggurat model. And these are the assessments that we would typically use on a student to try to determine an intervention behavior plan. So from the evaluation, we discovered that his core areas of need are social interaction, social communication, and behavior interest and activities. And these are typical to find in an assessment. In the UCC, which is Underlying Characteristics Checklist Classic, you will be looking in the areas of social, restricted patterns of behavior, interests and activities, communication, sensory differences, cognitive differences, motor differences, emotional vulnerability, and medical or other biological factors. In the Individual Strengths and Skills Inventory, the ISSI, it is a tool that we use in parallel with the Ziggurat model to identify strengths across the same domains as the UCC. And the Ziggurat model is a framework designed to meet underlying needs while capitalizing on strengths, so that we use the ISSI to develop a plan to replace those undesired behaviors. And then last is the ABC Iceberg form. In the last part, it is the ABC Iceberg form, and this is how we determine where the antecedent, the behavior, and the consequence are happening, and what they are and why, and how it is meeting our students' needs by their behaviors, and what came before as the antecedent, what is happening as the behavior, and the consequence, which is the A, B, and C, is the result of the behaviors and what he or she was trying to achieve through these behaviors. We also discovered needs in the area of social communication and behavior interests and activities. Now, Jerome tended to have more sensory needs than anything else, so we will go straight to behavior interests and activities. He needs to increase his ability to handle stressful situations in an appropriate manner, to reduce severity of reactions to changes in routine. He needs to increase tolerance of lights and colors, increase organizational skills, and increase ability to apply learned skills in new settings. When he has these struggles and has these needs, he tends to use an antecedent behavior consequence of avoidance. In the antecedent, it is what precedes the behavior, and following is the consequence. Oftentimes with Jerome, if the room is too noisy, he leaves the room or the building and he gets in trouble. Oftentimes, if he's feeling unregulated or overstimulated, he will run away from the class he dislikes, and then he gets to avoid work. If he's in uncomfortable social situations, he will skip classes instead of staying in the resource room, and then he gets to be left alone. Our strategies are 1, sensory, 2, peer-mediated intervention, and 3, free time rewards. We hope to use a goal of giving him a swing, low lighting, light music, and fidgets so that he can have all of his sensory needs met. We also want to use peer-mediated intervention where students can work with him and they can teach them by using their social skills, and he would in turn learn from them. We also have a free time reward, and rewards are used often as a positive reinforcement. So this will give him time to decompress, to go do what he wants to do, whether that's read a book or go on the computer and play a game, or just spend some time in a beanbag room to decompress or on the swing. The obstacles that we see for these interventions working are that he might use these as special treatments to get out of work and avoidance of responsibility. He doesn't necessarily always like the people that he would be coupled with. So if he is working on a project with somebody and he doesn't like them, he might refuse the assignment altogether and then go and leave the classroom. Also, the free time reward might not be worth the stress to him, so he might not be seeking a reward if he isn't feeling good doing his assignments or being in classes that he doesn't want to be in. Our rewards are a plan of having an incentive day, which is if you earn your first 4 days, Monday through Thursday, of good behavior. Friday is a movie day, but you have to have earned it, and then that day you get to have movie and popcorn. Our other reward plan that we have is to reward him with a school bash or dance. And in order to do this, you can't have any detentions or lunch detentions, and you need to be passing your classes with no Fs. Our third reward is to earn candy and prizes in drawings and daily work for completion. This is pretty common in classrooms, and he will get rewarded based on how he's doing on his work. The progress monitoring tool that we want to use is to use an intervention tracker, and this way you can write down what your intervention is, when you used it, what class was it in, how did it go, what day was it, and you monitor and track all this data. And you can also put in notes in there so that when you go back, you can see if there's anything that you want to change or if there was any other setting that made it different. And you can also put what class it was in, which time of the day it was. So these intervention trackers are great because you'll be able to look at this as sort of a map of the behavior of Jerome. Thank you so much.